Yay!
Wait.
What
Wait,
happened?
wait,
Hey, we're in the wrong.
wait,
Oh, yay!
wait, wait.
Yellow. Oh, no beer. What happened?
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
This is Merma Alvarez and
6
6
foot three,
Three from Babe Solutions. And
Hello.
we are back. We are here again for
The day 19
the 90 days.
for a positive,
90 days.
and you say mental, and I say attitude. See,
90 days to a
positive
mental
attitude.
day 19. Our topic
day
for
90.
today.
Day
Our
90.
day 19.
Day
1
19
9
of day 90.
of day
No? I don't know.
90.
Hello.
And yes.
Hi,
So
everyone. Hello.
we're from San Francisco, California. So
That's right.
wherever you are, thank you. We thank you for watching us. And we are now gonna present our day 19 of our challenge, the 90 days to a positive mental attitude challenge. And as usual, we prepared a simple presentation and we'll
Yes.
try to make this short as possible.
Yes.
Thank you for all those who are gonna watch
Thank you.
later on too, and just comment whenever you want to comment here. So here we go. That's Baby Solutions right there. Kurt and Merma, your mentors. And
Shall we?
yeah, take it away.
Take it away. Okay. So what is it? Yeah. So it's day 19. So we talked about the importance of learning, okay, and how to turn knowledge into action, right? So what you know and the action. But today is all about consistency, right? So getting that schedule, right? Regularity, how to make learning a part of your daily routine. So we all wake up in the morning, right? Do stuff. So it's about adding in that learning into that routine, daily routine. Lifelong learning isn't one about what you know, right? It's about the habits you build to stay curious, inspired, and always growing. You know, it's kind of reminds me, right, of when we were kids, right? You were curious and stuff. I think you maybe lose some of that when you get to be an adult, right? Maybe, huh?
Not
Lose some of the
really.
curiosity now?
Not
Okay,
really.
Not really.
Maybe the more you get curious.
Really? Oh, that's cool. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So by the end of today's live, you'll understand how small daily learning habits can lead to big transformations. Wow, that sounds cool. And you'll have a clear action step to start your journey. Okay,
Yes.
good. Let's do
As
it.
you, as every day, we always have the action step.
There you go. So why should we build a daily learning habit, right? Hey, come on. So here's why it's so important. So you're taking those small steps and it's going to lead to big changes. So consistency, this is kind of strange, right? Consistency beats intensity, right? So even 15 minutes a day adds up to significant growth over time. It's kind of like the compounding effect, right? That they talk about. And imagine learning a little bit about a topic every day for a year, right? You'll be amazed at how much progress you'll make, right? I think so.
Yeah, it's like reading a book also. Like if you want to read a book, you're a reader, you know that. You're a bookworm. He's a bookworm.
I haven't read a book for a while, so most of my reading's online, but I was thinking about getting back into it, believe it or not.
Yeah, I remember.
I miss some of that.
I remember before when you go with me to get something from the pharmacy. While waiting, you have the book and then you're reading.
That's so cool.
Whenever he waits, he read the book. He doesn't wanna waste any time. He reads the book, so he always has the book, and you're used to reading the actual book, not the ebook.
Yeah.
And so he has here a whole like a library of books.
It's underused, so I need to look into that, right?
But for me, I'm not a reader, but
need to pick a book.
If I want to make it a habit, I'm also recommending to everyone, and also for me, because I'm not a reader, I'd rather watch the podcast or watch visuals, or I'm a visual person. But if you read one page at a time, then after 30 days, you have read 30 pages.
Yeah, exactly.
And 365. But then if you get that into a habit, then one page will not be enough for you to read in a day, right? Like for you, you finish a book
very quickly. Yeah,
very, very
Yeah, I
quickly.
need to. I haven't done that for a while, so we've Eliza gotten kind of busy. So yeah, I was thinking about that.
But also different for you though,
Years.
because you are a fast reader.
Well, let's hope I read this fast, right? So continuing on here, so it keeps you inspired, right? So that's key, right?
Does
So
that keep you inspired?
it does. Thank you for inspiring me. So learning something new every day keeps your mind sharp and engaged, right? So
Sharp. Yeah.
which is important because as you get older, right, your
Yeah.
memory issues. Also boosts your confidence as you see your knowledge grow. Also true. And then, so like listening to a podcast, you just mentioned that
I listen to
inspirational on your
podcasts.
commute can shift your perspective and set a positive tone for your day. We have short commutes, so
Short commute downstairs.
But yeah, we
Yeah.
listen to stuff in the morning, right? Yeah, so it's kind of
Yeah, I told them before that,
right.
even if I take a shower, I don't want to waste my time.
There you go.
I listen to podcasts. Now
Right.
that's a habit of mine that I don't want to waste time, or whenever I'm cleaning in the kitchen or doing something in the kitchen,
Yeah.
cooking like that,
There you go.
I listen to podcasts. It's the motivational podcast instead of listening to some chismis. What's the chismis?
I
The
don't know.
rumors or
Oh,
news.
yeah,
Any
rules.
news about stars, actresses,
Yeah.
actors, singers, and all that. Before I used to do that. Now I listen to motivational podcasts.
Chismosa?
Chismosa, Marites.
Marites,
Yeah, we
yeah.
call it Marites in the Philippines.
So
Yes.
let's create some momentum, right? So when learning it becomes a habit, it stops becoming feeling like a chore, right?
Yeah,
And starts feeling like part of your lifestyle. So
Mhm.
you step into that routine. Is the point, right?
you will look for it.
And then the more you learn, the more curious and motivated you become to learn even more, right? So it's kind of
Mhm.
cool. Reading one chapter of a self-help book each morning can motivate you to apply what you've learned and seek out even more resources. So so it's a
Yeah.
compounding effect, is what they're talking about. So it's good. Next.
But you also and for example, your habit also. I'm giving away his personality. Your habit also
I
is
have a nutty personality.
your habit also is to look at news, look at what's happening in the
Yeah,
world.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, he always knows what's
Yeah,
happening. Like
yeah.
all of a sudden, I see some reel. I'm like, oh, did you know that? I saw that earlier. Oh, I saw that. Like, there's nothing that I can tell him that he didn't know beforehand. Like, because he always looks at his phone, even like
Yeah.
once in a while, he look at his phone
Yeah.
and comes pop up the news break here
Yeah.
and there.
I'm kind of like I love history and maybe some politics too, probably not so much, but the
But
what's
you
what's going on in the
still,
world, what's
yeah.
going on in the world, right? How other people are doing, and what's happening, right? So try to keep up. It's easy to do, but yeah. So that's one of the things, right? But yeah, and I guess that is maybe a habit, but
Yeah,
not
that's
a great habit. But I definitely I need to shift some of that mental energy, right, to do something else. So I'm currently in the kind of the flux trying to figure out what I want to do. I have a
you're
learning.
gonna start another
I have
habit.
a learning. Yeah, I'm going to start another habit. Yeah, I'm kind of
But
in the
you
flux
already
to do
have that habit. You will
Right.
not gonna get rid of it. You will never
I'm
gonna
not
get rid
prepared
of
to
it.
get rid of it now.
So you will still have it. It's just that you are adding
I'm adding to it.
adding
Yeah.
another habit. Do the motivational podcast.
That's an idea. And then so basically start small, right?
So how can you build how to build a learning habit?
So commit to just 10 to 15 minutes a day, right? I mean, that's like 10 to 15 minutes is not that bad, right?
Nothing. Yeah.
Small manageable goals are easier to stick to than overwhelming ones. So, start small, right? I'm sure everyone talks about that one.
Mhm.
Set aside 15 minutes before bed to watch a TED Talk or read a chapter of a book. TED Talks are a little bit longer than 15 minutes, but so it's kind of a good example.
There
TED Talks are
depends
good,
on the
so,
TED Talk that
yeah.
you search. There are TED Talks that are just 10 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, there you
So-
go. I haven't seen a TED Talk for a while, but yeah. So but whatever you want, right? I mean, gosh,
It's not-
there's so much
it's not only TED
information
Talks,
out there
yeah.
to learn. Bill Gates has a big list, right? Whether you like Bill Gates or not, the Microsoft guy, but he's got a big list of books there that he goes by. Mark Cuban, right? And then these are all like obviously rich people, but so there's I'm trying to remember who has a big book list. It's a family, Mark Cuban and Bill Gates. There's another one, but so it doesn't have to be a book, but you could even have ChatGPT analyze the book and say, oh, give me give me 10 or 15 minutes of something, right? Of an analysis of certain books, or it's amazing what we have at our fingertips, right? So
Yeah.
our phones can really do a lot. So so pick something that
Chat GPT
that
can help
is
a lot
something
too.
that you want to progress in. You're like, oh, I've been thinking about that. I want to know more about, I don't know, the Amazon rainforest, or whatever it is, right?
For
There's tons of stuff out there.
for me, at the
Yeah.
start of the 2020,
Yeah.
2025,
So,
I told myself that I'm gonna learn more on the God's words in the Bible.
yeah.
So every night, one verse at a time. So every night, I asked ChatGPT one verse at a time to give me one verse and then explain it. And because I wanted to learn, although I have a church that I attend to, and then
That's
we
right.
do the
We
Bible
attended that too.
service, right? We discuss different topics, but then I also want to learn more. Although I have faith, I believe in God, but then I want to strengthen my faith
Yeah.
by knowing the God's word. So that has been a habit every night before I sleep. Even how late we sleep, I don't sleep until I get to
There you go.
read a Bible verse. That has been a habit.
So speaking of that, be consistent and pick a time each day for learning, which is what you just said.
Before sleeping.
Whether it's in lunch, morning, before bed, ding, ding, ding. Consistency is the key to forming a habit, right?
Mhm.
So just, we all have things we're doing during the day that I think we have schedules for, right? You pick up your kids, or you have lunch at a particular time, or, so I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? Yeah.
And also
So-
thinking of that, picking up the kids, for all those parents that are busy with their kids, right? There's still a way for you to listen to podcasts,
Sure.
even if you're driving, instead of listening to music, or you can really listen to music, but also if you want, you can also listen to to audiobooks.
Yeah,
A lot of people that I
people drive to work,
heard of is they listen to audiobooks
while they're driving.
while
I've
they're
also heard that
driving.
too,
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that, track your progress, write down what you're learning, right? And then see how it's making you feel. Okay. So, and then, looking into your growth, right, is important, and it's going to motivate you to keep going. So it's basically you're doing an analysis of what your progress is, right? And it's kind of like a refresher, right? We, like you're in school, right? Those review tests, right, that we all hate. So, so what did you learn?
And the thing, like,
So,
for me, what my experience is, the more I feel that I'm growing, the more I feel that I am inspired and
right?
getting
Yeah.
impacted by what I listen to, or but what I learn from all the podcasts. Then the more I'm motivated, the more I'm inspired to go on and learn some more. Like, you feel good about yourself that you're learning, and then you will be curious, or be more inspired to learn more and go on and go on and go on. Right? We're right.
So what else we got? So we're
Our
almost
daily
we're almost
action step.
finished here, right? The day action step, exactly.
Mhm.
So I'm getting the formula to this. So you're looking for so just hey, you dedicate your 15 minutes, right? It's actually 10 to 15 minutes is important, and then you choose your topic, right? We talk about that excites you. Do something you're going to be interested in, right? Not something that is going to bore you, right? You're not gonna basically be able to fall through as easily, right? And something that is just going to bore you. So it's something to think about. Pick something that it's uncharted area, right? That I always wanted to remember to do that. So take that first step, right? And then choose to stop it. Yeah, I think we talked about that. Excites you. So track your progress at the end of each week, right? So think about what you learned, right? It's important. And then also, how do you feel about it, right? Is it something that you want to keep going on, right? So so your own engagement is really important. And then so that's kind of so it's kind of wrapping it up. And then what are you guys into, right? That's the key. So we talk about ourselves and what we're doing.
How about you guys?
So what are you guys interested in? What are you following, right, that you want to start doing, and start that habit and the consistency? So we'd love to know, right?
Even
We're
later,
always looking for
maybe
ideas.
later, after you watch this, or tomorrow, you can also share your learnings, right, and your experiences. What have you learned? What are your ideas? And for sure that we will learn from you, and we will learn from each other.
Yeah, I'm always amazed by those, those people that are really they're older people and they go back to school and they're learning, like
Back to school.
their history or economics or something. I mean, they're 90 years old, they're 80 years old. It's like, so, there's, I know that, people, they do like to learn, right? And you're like, oh, I'm too old to this and too old to that.
Yeah. No,
But
nothing's too
you
old.
always hear,
Yeah.
and I always try to, my mom's like, well, what did you learn today? What, pick something that made you happy today, right? Something that, you felt was important. She was always engaging that daily thing, right? So I thought that was, I took it for granted growing up, but it's like, it's kind of why again, really, oh, I had a horrible day, so, so,
Yeah,
so
because
it's,
when you're young, you don't care. Like,
you know,
okay,
yeah,
whatever.
you don't make that connection, but
Yeah.
that was like one of her things, right? Tell me something good that happened to you today, right? That was her thing, right? And that's she's always trying to keep things positive,
And that's
right?
her way to bond,
You
to do
know.
bonding time with you too.
True, yeah. She was great. She was great at getting people to talk about themselves. Yeah, she was an expert at that.
And
So,
don't ever think that
yeah.
if you're like us, we're old. We're old.
Well, no one told me that.
And like
I-
us, like for example, like don't ever think that it's too
I'm a little
late.
taller than she is, but
Don't ever think that it's too late for you to learn, for anyone to learn. Nothing is too late. As long as your brain is working, and the more that you want to learn, the more you want your brain to work, so that you will not lose your brain,
yeah.
right?
I'm always worried about losing my brain.
Yeah.
So I've
we
I
we
spent a
know
lifetime
people.
of putting facts in my brain and making connections to things, right? So I study a lot of history and read a lot of books when I was younger, and so
We know about
you
this
know.
dementia, Alzheimer, right? We know a lot of people that is going through all this dementia and Alzheimer. It's really, really hard
yeah,
for the family.
very hard.
It's very, very hard. So we don't want that to happen to us. So
Yeah.
we want to keep our brains working. Brains. I'll pick your brain. Ow!
Ow! Oh, that hurts.
And so
That's too close. Too
So,
close for our
yeah,
brains.
let's keep our brains working, you guys.
Right.
Yeah, and
Keep it
then
working.
yeah, keep working. So we have to remember.
Yeah. So just like a recap right again. So
Mhm.
just to get that learning habit going, take that 15 minutes, right? Spend 15 minutes, whatever part of the day is good for you, and transform yourself, right? Start that transformation. Maybe you want to learn, I don't know, real estate or finance, or you want to study history or whatever it
Some
is,
soft skills.
So soft skills, soft skills are in again, right? I had a lot of soft skills years ago, and that wasn't really important, and now it's important again. So it's kind of cool, right? I think that's important. Creativity for the human condition is really going to be more and more important, because AI and computers at this point,
Mhm.
they're not like us. We are creative. We invent things from nothing, okay, and have for millennia, okay, but they not millennia, but how humans have been around for a while. But the thing is that these computers, they just learn from us. So, but they're not creators. So, I think that's important. Think about something that you want to learn that is going to make you more effective and more creative in your own life, right? That's a key, and I have to do that too, right?
More creative and more relevant.
So more relevant.
You're relevant. I like the
You know,
term relevant, to be
yeah.
relevant.
I'm in the data business. I'm constantly getting a lot of things about trying to use new tools, and
Mhm.
where we're going in these new tools, and then also
Changing systems, right?
Systems, right? I've
to-
migrated 7 systems. I'm trying to remember. I think it was
You
I don't know,
have to
4
be
years ago now.
updated with all the system changes.
And but we're also inventing new things at our work so that people can work more effectively, right? So that's a cost savings, and companies like that. So it's the creativity, right? That's the key. So I think that's probably going to be more and more important.
Yeah.
Is what is it about you that's unique that you can leverage your creativity against? Because if you are doing things that can be replicated, like Mark Mark Zuckerberg was saying, hey, I'm getting rid of my lower level programmers. We have AI to do that already, and that's it. It's over. We're going to hire a bunch of other people. So so if you're a low level programmer or mid level, you're making six figures. My heart goes out to my Silicon Valley friends, and I'm not sure what they're going to find, but I'm sure it's probably some creativity is going to be involved in that. So it's there's a shift change, right? It's the fourth revolution, I think it is. So it's something to think about. So the learning in this piece is really important to try to grab some more soft skills, I think, is what I'm thinking. This is really important, this stuff, to grapple onto some more soft skills.
Yeah, and then we have
Right.
to be relevant. We have to learn stuff to be different, better than the robots, the AIs, right? So no, I mean, so that the robots will not replace us, right?
Yeah, that's the key.
We have to be needed.
Yeah.
Needed by the company we work for, or needed by the world,
and,
right?
And also people skills are, I think, even more important now, right? Because you need to connect with people to get those jobs that are going to help you, right? So you don't get replaced as easily, right? So so it's really important, right? So I think this is really a great start to getting more that habit, and then also getting whatever that soft skill that you've been thinking about, trying to to work on, right? I think this is the key here. So I got to go take all this and figure out what I want to do, right? So I have a learning hour that I've dedicated. Sometimes my meetings run into my learning hour, so but but it's in the calendar. Okay, so that's the key, right? It's in there, and I need to, I have dedicated a little bit of time each day. It may not be the whole block of time, but it's still there to to basically figure out something new, and I did that today again. So it's so if you have a calendar at work, just block it out, right? Or you work from home, just put in your calendar, your work calendar. You got to stare at it every day, right? And just block it out and have that time slot blocked out for this learning habit. That is also another way to do it.
Yeah.
Or you set an alarm in your phone, right? Whenever you want to dedicate that time.
Consistency,
right?
It's the consistency.
Just whatever. And it's at the same hour. It's at the same hour. So that's between 3 and 4 for me. So it's at the same hour, every other day, right? So I didn't do it every day, every other day. And so that's the key, right? So every other day, it's between 3 and 4. And our boss told us that, and I think it's a great idea. I latched onto it, and and that is all out there.
And it's also good if you have a boss that's also doing all this. What do you call that? Inspiring you to do all these things, right? Because some bosses, they don't do that, but some bosses are like, they want to push. They want their employees, they want their subordinates to grow and improve, and so they give them all this.
You'll know
preachings.
You'll know who that is. You will know that. We've all had bad bosses, right? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
And they make your job just miserable, right? So
they push you to exercise.
Terrible,
they
right?
push you to learn
but
that.
But the good ones, that's the key. So and so latch onto them, and they're there to help you. Yeah. There's not enough of those. Anyway, so sorry to diverge a little bit, but the point of the matter is that so block it on your calendar. If you do that, put that in there for yourself meeting, and then we call it learning hour, and then that's it. You just put in there, and away you go, right?
That's a good idea.
So it's there, and it's you have to look at it every day, right? So and when that time occurs, the meeting invite will show up, right? And then we'll notify you 15 minutes before, and it's like, okay, you better prepare yourself.
And then those people who are also,
so it helps with the discipline, right? And so it's a good point.
The people who in your work who are also scheduling time for meeting, they will see your calendar. If there's a visibility on the calendar that you're busy, that's blocked off, then they will not get that
That's
time.
exactly
They
it.
will not get your time.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they do, then hey, don't take that time.
Hey, I have a meeting.
Yeah. So that I'll just throw out that idea for everybody. You know, a lot of us use Teams or other
Zoom.
Zoom or other things, right? Yeah. So or the calendar function, right?
Mhm.
Outlook or Teams or whatever. So
Whatever you.
it's just a thought. So
Yes.
yeah. So that's my takeaway for today personally, right? And it works. So
Good job.
just want to say thanks
Yeah,
everyone.
Thank
And
you.
I'm learning a lot of right with you. I have lots of
Me
mistakes,
too.
right?
Me too.
I have lots of mistakes and things to improve upon, right?
Me too.
So
Yeah.
I'm happy to go along with the journey.
That's why I'm happy doing this, because as we are sharing, I'm also learning a lot, right?
You too.
So I hope you can also comment whatever your experiences are or your thoughts are, ideas are, so we can also learn. We will learn from each other. I'm learning a lot here too.
Creativity and ideas, they're important.
So we thank you so much,
Thank you,
and we
everyone.
hope that we will see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow
beard's
we'll
gone.
dive into leadership and personality traits on
That
day
is going to
20.
be crazy.
Day
I'd love to hear
20.
that.
So, but until then, keep on learning,
Oh.
stay curious, and enjoy the
Another one?
journey.
Ow, what's the nails?
Wait, hold on. Let me bring us. Enjoy the journey.
No, I'm just
Thank you
kidding.
very much. We appreciate you
Thanks,
all.
everybody.
God bless everybody.
Bye.
Praying for everyone. Bye.